Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Suzerain! Yes, Kingdom of Rizia DLC still going strong, episode number 17? 17 I think this is. It's actually a longer game than I realised. I appreciated that the DLC was supposed to be shorter than the main game, but nonetheless, still a reasonably lengthed expansion, must be said. Anyway, hope you're all well. It's Sunday. By the time you're seeing this, probably Sunday around about 3 o'clock-ish. I'm recording this at a healthy 10:30 in the morning. Sun is blazing outside. You might be able to see the rays shining on my face. Yeah, I might go out and enjoy some of the weather this afternoon. So yes, I'm recording a session of this simply because I've been up early and I thought to myself, I'm going to do it to pass the morning before I start my horse racing. I thought, I'll do a session of this, quite in the mood. And I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going out this evening. It's looking highly unlikely at this point, but just need to confirm. So if I'm not, you'll be getting 2 videos today, because you'll be seeing this if you're interested in watching at this point. But there could well be a stream of Baldur's Gate 3 this evening if I'm not going out too. So double whammy today. Feeling in the mood for some videos after having a quieter past couple of weeks. So yes, fear not. Could be some Baldur's Gate 3 coming later in addition to this. So that's that. But last session, what happened? I suppose one of the major talking points of the last session was the fact that we shut down the House of Delegates. You know, there was a couple of decrees that we passed as well, but ultimately, yeah, shutting down the House of Delegates was the major talking point of recent news when it comes to all things monarchy and Rizia. I'm sure the papers will be flying off the shelves this morning with that news. But anyway, it is as it is. Absolute monarchy, of course, absolutely. Because why? Because Romus Taurus knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't need House of Delegates to tell him or to suggest things to him. He's got a council. But not only that, he's got the Divine Lord looking down upon him. You know, what more guidance does he need? Does he need guidance from mortal men when the Almighty is speaking directly to him? Of course not. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. Right, anyway, Republic of Wehlen, we have a meeting, a negotiation, no less apparently, with President Smolak. What a way to start the session. This should be an interesting one. Zeal, yes, it's coming home. Whether you like it or not, Smolak, alright? It's time to put up or shut up. You know what I mean? We're getting impatient with this whole Zeal situation. We've been very diplomatic. If there's any further issue or gamesmanship from Smolak, I've got a sneaking suspicion King Romus is going to start to lose his patience. Let's see what happens. My eyes remain locked on an enormous airship moored at a blimp base on the outskirts of the presidential palace in Raklovich, Wehlen's capital. Its sleek form dominated the skyline. Standing before it, I absorbed the sight of President Smolak's imposing image prominently displayed on its side, alongside the flag of Wehlen, and bold proclamations of Wehlen's rise to prominence. With Smolak at the helm, Wehlen soars to new heights. Our agreement's 3-year probationary period had come to an end. It was finally time to discuss the return of Zeal. However, my host was nowhere in sight. Flanked by golden guardsmen, I eventually made my way up the red carpet stretching from my motorcade to the airship's gondola, past a dozen or so young women in impeccably pressed uniforms. The interior of the ship was adorned with lavish blue and white drapes cascading from floor to ceiling windows. Plush magenta seats lined the cabin, each embellished with opulent tassels and cushions embroidered with the Wehlen crest. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, casting a dazzling array of light across the space. The gondola cabin practically screamed excess, to the point of absurdity. And there, standing amongst it all, was the man of the hour, Victor Smolak. "Welcome aboard, Your Majesty. So glad you could join me." It was then I noticed that he was carrying a baby, who couldn't have been more than a year old. "Yes. And who is this little mister?" "Ah, this would be my son, Victor Smolak II, of course. The second, after 11 daughters courtesy of my 8 wives, all of whom I'm still married to. I finally have a boy. We're having a father-son weekend." "Yes. Never took you for a family man." "How heartwarming. Now, let's talk about zeal. As I said, our patience at this point, very, very thin. Baby or no baby." "Patience is a virtue, Your Majesty. We haven't even taken off yet." It was then that I could feel the king's frustration from here. I mean, obviously I'm playing as the king. Oh my god, I'd be seething. It was then that I felt the airship begin its ascent. I looked out the window as the sprawling capital city beneath us became smaller and smaller. Fine. Let's let him feel like he's calling the shots for now. Whenever you're ready, I'm more than happy to begin our discussion. As we're flying off into nowhere. Hey, take a step back, relax and enjoy the ride. We've got a long flight ahead of us. There'll be time for all of that soon enough. Several hours later, after falling asleep on one of the lounge chairs on the observation deck, I was startled awake by the sharp slap of a newspaper hitting the side table beside me. It was a copy of the Royal Herald, the top story being the revelation about Lesbia's involvement in the Friendship Day bombing. Smolak was standing over me with a grin on his face. Little Victor was in his arms. "Just look at that. It's amazing what we can accomplish when our two nations work together. Would you care for a drink? We've got everything." "Coffee, please." Just obviously been woken up with a start. A bit of caffeine, perhaps, in order here? No biscuits, though. Clearly. "Right away. Come with me." We made our way to a private room where drinks were already set out for us. Even the baby had a bottle waiting for him. We took our seats in front of the window with a view just as fantastic as before. To travelling in style. Cheers. Smolak and I clinked glasses. "You're the first world leader to share a ride on my airship." "Yes. Of course I'm the only one who didn't turn down your invitation." Could you imagine? Why am I not surprised? Oh, so President Rain is still in power at this moment in time. I did wonder how many years have passed and whether we'd passed the President Rain period, because he reigns for 4 years. I got a feeling our timeline is a little bit longer than 4 years here, but apparently he may still be just about chugging along. Yeah, honoured. I really am. Through gritted teeth. Just get the zeal stuff sorted. Take me back down to terra firma and let's go our separate ways. That's what we're thinking. It's like when you get invited to a party, right? As a kind of like a +1, you're going with a parent or a friend or your partner or whatever. You don't really know the people there, but they've been invited, so you're going, and you just really would just rather be somewhere else throughout the entire affair. Anybody else been in that position? Kind of at a party, you kind of, I really can't be arsed, you know. Just want to do something else or whatever. I mean, usually when you get there, you kind of lighten up a bit, like, oh, it's not so bad, but you still got that kind of niggling thing, like, well, it's not really my friends. Well, you know, was it just me? Clearly it's not just me. We've all been there, surely. Yeah, anyway, we are indeed honoured. Fingers crossed behind our back, you know what I mean? Pinky swear, we're being serious, we're being honest here. Really, really loving the ride, Victor. You should be. Everyone else is so official and by the book. I could invite Prime Minister Alvarez here, but he'd pay more attention to the liquor than the view. And Queen Beatrice? Ha, forget about it. It's as if they don't want to be friends. Not like us. Yes, friends, if you seriously believe that, you're deluded, mate, but anyway. As soon as we get Zeal back, it's goodbye Wehlen. Although, yeah. Ooh. I did say that patience is wearing thin and we're going to struggle to hold our tongue at some point. Do you know what? I can't help it. Do friends go over to each other's homes only to become permanent residents, rearranging furniture, dictating house rules and never leaving? Those kind of friends. Diplomatic, King Romus. Come on, you've got this far. Don't let it slip now. It's like tongue lashings. I see what you did there. Someone wants to get right to talking about Zeal. Very well. Let's get right to it then. Smoak sipped his drink before pulling out a cocktail napkin from his jacket pocket. There was vague scribblings on it. If you remember, we signed an agreement regarding the conditions for Zeal's return to Rizia. He held up the napkin where I could make out a list of the terms to our amended treaty. Highly professional. Highly... on a napkin? Bloody hellfire. How could I forget? Please tell me we're not determining the fate of millions via a cocktail napkin. I beg your pardon? I'll try to use a chalkboard next time. I prefer the annotated version, direct and to the point. He waved his napkin around once more. Yes, can we please get back on track? I feel we're moving in the wrong direction. Smillock's expression turned cold. I'll be the judge of... We're really getting off to a great start here, aren't we? You can sense our king's frustrations, can't you? I think we're justified in being a little bit snappy today, don't you? Clearly, he's... A brief moment of tension quickly subsided with a flash of a president's trademark smile. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get to it. His attention returned to his napkin. We made an agreement, Your Majesty. I believe we both remember its terms. Indeed, we made a trade deal. Yes, we did. According to my notes, my people are very grateful for your generous wine shipments. He raised his glass. Yes. Canto over? Thought I recognized it. Romus the Red. In your honor, of course. Now, when it comes to the import of Rizian gold, it's been quite the economic boom. In fact, as a tribute to our success, I'm in the process of renovating my entire bathroom with Rizian gold. Soon my morning routine will feel like a royal coronation. You should talk to our man Rusty Montoro. He's made renovations of a similar kind. Why wouldn't one? It's the most important room in the house. You also promised to provide us with military equipment, which you followed through on. Given all of our ongoing conflicts, the more guns the better. Anyway, without getting further into the nitty-gritty of all the goods being exchanged across our borders, that covers the main points I wanted to address regarding trade. Now, as for security-related matters, if I'm deciphering my handwriting correctly, it says here you didn't break any of the security or counter-terrorism promises you made to Wehlen. Oh, wait. That's because you never made any such promises in the first place. I have to reiterate how disappointed I am that Rizia turned a blind eye to the unrest and turmoil brewing within your neighbour's borders. Yes. Rizia's stance on this matter is and was clear at the time that the negotiations were made, and any objections to our stance could have been raised at that moment. I don't feel it necessary to repeat myself. Thank you very much. Maybe not now, but nevertheless I suggest keeping an open mind. Therein lies the problem. The Bluish threat isn't just a threat to Wehlen, but to the entire region as a whole. And, unfortunately, the problem is only going to get worse. Smollett looked at his cocktail napkin. By the way, I have heard nothing but gratitude from expatriates of my country working in Rizia. You've really taken it upon yourself to better their situation. Of course, they'd be even happier if you stopped subjecting their children to a forced Ruhasist education, but I trust you have their best interests at heart. So, that's it for the treaty. Well, by the sounds of it, everything's been done exactly as we agreed, so surely there can be no hiccup in handing back Zeal to us. Right? Right? Wrong. Probably. I hope you understand that I have reservations about our partnership, given the events of the past few years. Yes. I apologize that everything couldn't be exactly as you wanted, but I did the best I could. I'm sure you'll understand that as a leader of a country. Sometimes compromise has to be made. Yes. Having said that, the agreement is not the only factor at play here. I was very happy with how you and your security forces handled the Friendship Day bombing investigation, even if the culprit wasn't whom either of us suspected. It troubles me that you still haven't come to your senses regarding your one-sided relationship with Rumberg. I'll admit that I'm disappointed you've kept your anti-Vezek cousin in power all this time. I need to think about this for a second. Smollett finished his drink very slowly. Yeah, you think long and hard, pal, because if you dare to row back on the situation here and continue to play these games, you're gonna be very sorry, trust me. Trust me, you'll be sorry. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Military? No, clearly not. But by the time we're finished with him, he's going to be regretting the day he crossed our path. Don't do it. Clearly, from a gameplay perspective, it makes sense for him to do something, you know, to put a twist in the tail and spice up the end of the game. But no, don't do it, mate. It's not going to be worth it for you. Trust me. Don't play games. All this is running through the king's head as he's sipping on his own drink. Very slowly, not taking his gaze from Victor Smolak here. Like a game of chess playing out. Any more napkins in there that I should know about? Oh, the king is so cute. This is one of those moments where I'm clicking options that I really don't want to click on because I think to myself, oh, that's going to be bad. That's going to be a bad thing to say. Don't say it. But I'm saying it because I feel this is the way my king is feeling right now. He's had enough. I'm a mere passenger right now. The king is in full control and he's not happy. Now that you mention it. Smolak abruptly halted mid-sentence, seemingly captivated by the view outside the window. He stood up and approached the glass. Turning to see what had caught his attention, my gaze caught the rays of the setting sun travelling across an open body of water, illuminating an all-too-familiar city on a distant shore. Your Majesty, may I present Zeal? Oh. Didn't recognise it from up here. Yes, I'm well aware of what I'm looking at. just curt, short, tired of games. That's us right now. Well, aren't you the astute one? Smollett returned his gaze to the view before us as a momentary silence fell between us. I must say, the sight of zeal takes my breath away every time I see it. But given everything we've just discussed, I'm afraid I simply can't part with it. It holds too much sentimental value. Here we go. Here we go. So you brought me all the way out here just to tell me no? Come now, Your Majesty, you seem to forget the first rule of diplomacy. There is always room for negotiation. Smollett reached into his pants pocket and retrieved another cocktail napkin with writing on it. He held it out. Oh my god, he was being serious. He does have a second napkin. See, I always come prepared. I hope you are just as prepared for the potential ramifications should these negotiations not reach a satisfactory conclusion. I seized the napkin and read over his conditions. Think of it as a friendly suggestion. It just says referendum over and over again. What is this? Then allow me to enlighten you. I believe the decision of unification should be up to the people of Zeal to decide. Who are we to dictate their destiny without consent? This is interesting because we are quite confident that we were going to do well in a referendum, weren't we? You know, the ATA kind of getting stuck in, being heavily funded, spy networks, spreading hopefully a bit of propaganda. Coming from someone who governs with an iron fist, I find your concern for democratic principles utterly fascinating. Just because democracy sometimes needs a firm hand to guide it towards progress doesn't mean I believe in the absolute power of the state. Either way, a decision of this magnitude that goes against the will of the people will merely breed resentment and dissent. Having a choice in the matter is crucial. Yeah. There's no way he would be so calm and confident about this unless he was determined or certain he was going to win. Which means there's going to be some foul play involved in this referendum. Vote rigging, you know, all this kind of jazz. Yes, we both know that so my answer is no. The answer is no, bit. But yeah, rigging. This is what he wouldn't. You know, if there was a sniff of a chance that he'd lose Zeal by referendum, he would not engage this idea. So he's got something up his sleeve. So we could say yes, or we could say no. I don't think this is the final decision that we are making. I'm hoping not, anyway, because referendums, so be it, then fine. But we're going to be. I'm just going to throw that out there, that, yeah, we understand that the outcome would be predetermined long before a single vote is cast. Now, come on. Oh, but what if that does literally cut that option off? The only way that we've got to take Zeal back if he refuses to give it is by referendum. This is what we talked about with Escabel, right? Militarily, we can't take it. But how can we ensure that this is a fair referendum? Fair voting? Fair. It needs to be fair. If it's fair, happy days, but we're not convinced. That's why I want to Sort of bring that up to see what he has to counter it. My faith tells me they will make the right decision. Okay, I'm going to assume that we're going to get a chance to... This is not the final say. Oh, please don't shut that option off now, so otherwise I'm going to be fuming. But yeah, we're intrigued as to how he's going to counter the accusation that he's going to have some foul play involved here. Okay, so it did cut us off. Oh dear. Well, he's going to present the case for a referendum to the Alliance of Nations, which is fine, because if it goes ahead without our consent, well, then so be it. But would it have been more favourable if we'd have been able to agree to it? I don't know. Maybe we could still get Zeal without a referendum if there's an Alliance of Nations meeting about it. I don't know. But, okay. Painting us to be the unreasonable one that we've now disagreed to have a referendum. Oh. Right, well, we're not gonna threaten. Right, people would vote for their return. The reason is long to come back to their homeland. Bravado. Seek divine guidance. No, do you know what? My people will vote for their return. The reason is long to come back to their homeland. Then let the vote decide. We've been granted this fair process by Arcasian revolutionaries of old, and I intend to use it. Zaptek Smolny. It wasn't long until after we landed, our weekend excursion having ended early, that I was struck by the full weight of what had transpired. Oh boy. Right. News. Zeal's return, diplomatic standstill. King Romus journeyed to Wehlen for a vital meeting with President Smolak regarding Zeal's return. To the Crown's dismay, President Smolak diverted attention with an airship tour during negotiations. Despite efforts, an agreement for Zeal's return remained elusive. Rizians, disappointed, still hold hope for their province's reunion as diplomatic tensions persist. While the kingdom remains steadfast, the road to Zeal's return proves challenging, casting uncertainty over the future. Alliances. Oh, so straight into the Alliance of Nations meeting. Let's not mess around here. Let's press on. Let's see what happens. Constantium awaits. The royal convoy finally arrived at the entrance to the Alliance of Nations headquarters in Constantium. Sinister music kicks in, which means there's a potential for things to go horribly wrong. I looked around. Of all the leaders gathered here, we'd made the most grandiose entrance by far. I felt good about today. Okay, we're feeling good. The king's feeling good. He's going to be in a good mood. He's going to be in a mood for diplomatic wrangling and little dances of diplomacy. He's ready to be the one that appears most reasonable and tolerant. Come on now. We're ready for this moment. A voice over the loudspeaker announced that it was time to take our seats. I smiled before entering the fray. Clearly we are very confident. Romus, do you know something I don't? After the usual greetings, Lorento and I settled at our table in the conference hall. He leaned over and whispered in my ear, "Here we go, Your Majesty." I am confident in this session. Let's see. A man that I recognise as President Nines approached the podium. The introductions to the session followed. With the hit of the gavel, President Nines announced the opening of the session. Martin van Horten, the Prime Minister of Agnolia, was summoned to the stage. I looked around the room. The attendees' attention had begun to flag. A few didn't even bother to disguise their yawns. Thank you, President Nines. Good morning. It is an honour to see you all in this chamber. The Alliance of Nations and its position is paramount to maintaining peace in the world. It is the sole organisation that can bring all of us together, not only for constructive discussions, but for collective problem solving. With our combined will and desire for justice, there is no issue we cannot resolve. I therefore ask for your assistance in the fair and just resolution of a dilemma faced by my proud nation of Agnolia. It concerns Helly Island. Upon hearing the name of the island, everyone in the room woke up and sprang to attention. I heard Lorento mutter under his breath. This again? We are in for an interesting time. Keep watching. The innocent Agnolians living on this island are currently living under the long shadow cast by Valg's land. Their territorial ambitions know no bounds. They will not rest until they have subdued every Agnolian soul on the land that they have unlawfully claimed as theirs. Helly Island is a vital piece of our heritage that Chancellor Hegel is trying to take away from us by force. I pose you this question. What would you have done if it was your own land under threat? Our eyes randomly met before he turned his gaze away. The place where your great-grandfather was born, where your father was born, would you not defend it? Would you not protect it with your life? He has a point. Yes. Having a point is not enough. There is more at play here. As unfortunate as it is, we've seen firsthand how often might makes right. For peace in Eastern Macopa, Hellyland has to be recognised as Agnolian. Don't forget, if you tolerate this happening to us, your own nations will be next. I urge you to do the right thing. Thank you. I could see that Emmerich Hegel had a smirk on his face. He seemed confident. President Nines declared the voting to begin on the matter. Nay. I. Abstain. I. 2 ayes. Oh. Anton Rain, nay. Oh, this is probably taking into account our stance in the playthrough, right? Because we were... What did we do? I can't remember. That's not how my Anton Rain looked, by the way. Nay from... Oh dear. Sorry, there's a lot of nays here now. Nay from Sultana. Nay from Beatrice. Nay from Egel. Nay from Mileniev. Nay from Smolak. Might as well go with crowd. Nay. The voting concludes. As much as we actually don't like Hegel, and we would like to scupper him wherever we can, even if we vote aye, it's not going through, is it? So, might as well not put our head above the parapet there. The result was nay by a landslide. Defeated, Martin van Horten shook his head in disbelief. His shoulders dropped. Who knew how he felt in that moment? Nine signalled for a break. Lorento stood up to catch a minister he wanted to talk to. I enjoyed the Kairoutian circular pastry with sesame seeds, apparently named Rekekev, that was handed out as a snack as we waited for the session to continue. Victor Smolak, president of Wehlen, got up from his seat to speak. He held his arms up in the air and shouted, "Alliance of Nations, hear me!" He can't help making a dramatic entrance, can he? I come to you today with dire news from our southeastern border. Rizia's continued demand for the transfer of Zeal back to its territory. On the Wehlen, the Zealians have enjoyed democratic freedoms that they have never experienced before. To lose these freedoms by joining a monarchy, nobody wants that. Would you? I wouldn't. I have heard representatives from Zeal personally, I might add. They were clear in their request. They asked good old Victor to help them out, and I promised that I would. Zeal wants to remain part of Wehlen. The will of the people is paramount in a democracy, King Romus, although you might not know that. A democratic referendum will take place in Zeal so that the people themselves can decide with whom they will align. I let him continue. I myself personally presented him with the idea of a referendum when it became clear that he had not taken our amended agreement seriously. He almost spat in my face. What do you expect from a monarch? Of course, Rizia has not sat idly by in the years since the Friendship Day attack. King Romus Taurus is knowingly, intentionally sowing dissent among the populace of Zeal. With underhanded tactics, he has attempted to garner a pro-Rizian movement in the region. Its swelling numbers do not reflect Zeal's true sentiments. There are big games being played with Wehlen. Everyone is against us. Even Lesbia has no qualms about helping a monarchy interfere with the will of the Zeal citizenry. I have proof. I am telling you. The Zeal referendum will happen. As a leading force for justice in the world, it is the Aeon's obligation to rescue these innocents from the clutches of their would-be king and deliver them to freedom. That is all I will say. He left the podium. President Nines motioned forward. I was given several minutes to defend Rizia's position. I made my way to the podium. Esteemed members of the Alliance of Nations. Oh boy, right, okay. Start from the beginning. I would like to talk about the agreement that my father and President Smolak's predecessor signed all those years ago. In it, the territory of Zeal was given to Wehlen for 25 years. Not a day longer. I ask you this, what kind of a world would this be if everyone went about making and breaking agreements with no consequences? Yeah, I don't like this whole line now. It's gone very weak, hasn't it? I should probably have said something about the fact that we'd honoured the agreements following the extension. Personal connection. If there is one resource we Rizians have in abundance, apart from our gold, of course, it is honour. This I will not let Victor Smolak hold my province hostage, no matter what. I mean, all of these have some credit in some form or another. But this is... supporting this referendum will make a mockery of a legitimate binding treaty between nations. I mean, it's very true. President Smolak demeans others with such ease, but let's talk about what he himself has done. What has he done? For his actions against the Bludish people, he should be regarded as a criminal. Oh, interesting. Go to any Bludish village in Wehlen and you will know what I mean. Ask any Wessex citizen who is not being held at gunpoint by this man. Just turn on your television or open a newspaper and you will see evidence of his misdeeds. Do you know what? Yeah, turn on your television. Open a newspaper. It's there for everyone to see. How can he be trusted? As shown by his behaviour here. I will give the answer. He can't. I say this to you. The people of Zia will not suffer the same fate that the minorities in his own country do. I also can't help but respond to President Smolak's claims about what the people of Zeal do and do not want. My mother was born in Zeal. I know the region better than Victor Smolak or anyone else in this room. Some of these are quite extreme. Only a madman would believe that the Zealians long for a sham democracy, rather than the embrace of their one true monarch. It's quite strong, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh, I'm quite tempted with number 4, you know. Labelling him a madman. No, we'll go with this one. For him not to lecture us about our own values. I'll try to keep it as kind of not inflammatory as possible. Right, now to the referendum itself. Yeah, it's clearly a bogus attempt to gain control of more territory. Knowing the way that Wehlen's so-called democracy is run, there is no way their government will respect the actual will of the people. I want you to put yourselves in Rizia's shoes. What would you do if someone was trying to steal your land? If we abide by the rule of law, what must be done is clear. Zeal must be returned to Rizia as per the agreement. I ask for your votes to send Alliance of Nations peacekeepers to Zeal to stop this illegal referendum. Ooh, the audience applauded as I stepped down from the podium. Is this a good sign? Have we pulled a blinder here? No wonder the king was beaming with a smile. Let's hope so, anyway. Come on. I went back to my seat next to Lorento. Very good speech, Your Majesty. Thank you. Let's see what the member states decide. Oh, here we go. It's voting time. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm nervous. This is almost like the whole situation with the... what was it called? The constitutional amendment thing. When it came to voting for that, it was like, whoa. Shaky time, shaky time. After much deliberation, President Nines opened the floor. Each leader now had to vote whether to allow the referendum or not. So an aye will be a yes to a referendum, I'm assuming. Aye. Of course, we've ticked off a few nations. Sultana, Hegel. Okay. Abstain. 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 Jesus Christ. Nobody's interested. Right. Well, Sultana with her nay. Oh, nay! Hey, Mr. Rain! Go on, Mr. Rain. It's probably the only nay we're going to get. Oh, no, Beatrice as well. That's 2 nays. Sultana will be an aye. Hegel will be an aye. Oh, forgot about Reinhardt. Go on, Reinhardt. Nay. Aye, of course. Nay. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3 nays to 2 ayes. Going to be Hegel with an eye. That's a 3 to 3. 1, 2. Oh, this is close. Oh, no. That's 4 to 3. And Smolak gets to vote, and obviously I get to vote. How does he get to vote and I don't? That's a bit... I mean, obviously it would make no difference. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4... No, that's not... Is that right? No, there was more above there, I think. So even with our vote of nay, I think we'd have been 1 short. Sheesh kebab. Right, that's not good. So if we'd have done better with cozying up to, say, Sultana and Hegel with the MIT stuff, we'd have probably got their votes, right? And this would have gone a lot smoother. It's interesting how it all comes together, isn't it? Damn. God be damned. Oh, pardon my language, Your Majesty. The entire alliance of nations appears to be stacked against us. That doesn't excuse you for taking the laws. Forget the law's name in vain right now. We've got bigger fish to fry. We will get Zeal back, Lorento, no matter what Wehlen or anyone else wants. We're kind of sat there, eyes piercing into the... We're not looking at anything in particular, we're just piercing off into the distance. Face flush with fury. Yes, Your Majesty. An aide leaned over to my ear to let us know that it was lunchtime. We made our way out of the chamber. Oh, this is bad news. Right, okay. I mean, if it was a fair referendum, then we stand by it, but clearly it's not going to be fair, is it? Right, news articles. AN allows Zeal referendum to process. The Rizian Crown reacted with disgust to the decision, saying the legality of Rizia's rule over Zeal has already been established and branding any attempt by Wehlen to hold on to the territory illegal. I don't care about Helliland. Royal Wedding Committee. We can afford to fund the committee. Fund the creation of a Royal Wedding Committee. Yeah, let's have it. All kits, all caboodles. Everything will be there. Oh, the wedding! Let's put diplomacy aside and zeal aside. It's time for a wedding. Rufus Gragg's royal gossip. No expense spared for wedding. Exciting news! King Romus has assigned generous funds to the planning committee of the royal wedding, ensuring the entire affair will be a grand spectacle worthy of our dear Princess Vina. Now is the time for speculation. What could all this money be used for? If you have any ideas, please send a letter to this newspaper, and we will attempt to relay it to the wedding planning committee itself. Yes, indeed. Let's get this wedding on the road. Show on the road, folks. We've got 10 minutes or so. Right. Shut down, Zeal. Shut it down, put it to the back of the mind. Referendum will go ahead. It's out of our control now. Now we are here for a happy, joyful day. The wedding of our dear daughter. The day of Vina's wedding had finally arrived. The mood in the country was jubilant, though the prospect of permanently losing Zeal to Wehlen lent solemn undertones to the celebrations. The service had just concluded at the Ark Sanctuary of Zilba. Vina had been nervous as we walked down the aisle together, but the moment she spotted Duke Reinhardt waiting for her at the altar, it all melted away. There was an undeniable spark between them. It wasn't love yet, but it could be. Grand Wiseman Ignatius presided over the wedding, reciting the traditional words from an ancient scroll. As per tradition, the newlyweds shared their first kiss on the Zilber steps in front of the public. The crowd went wild as Axel dipped Wiener low for the cameras. Citizens waved Frisian and Palesian flags from their balconies as our carriage procession wound through the streets of Port Drazen, flanked by the Golden Guard. We disembarked in front of Palace Resna. It was time for the reception. The Queen Mother was by my side as we entered the Grand Hall. She was wearing a deep violet hat that resembled a fanciful undersea creature. I heard a few giggles as the photographers took our picture. "Remember to smile, darling. It's your daughter's wedding day." Yes. Yes, it's more than that. It's a historic reunion between Rizia and Parley. All the more reason for jubilation. I took a look around the hall. It had been transformed into a sea of banquet tables, each adorned with silk tablecloths, elaborate floral arrangements, and the finest of porcelain. Crystal chandeliers twinkled overhead, so enormous I thought the ceiling might collapse. We crossed the room and took our place behind the head table. Parbel shook our hands before helping us into our seats. "Congratulations, Your Majesty, and you on your hat, madam." "Why, thank you. I'm happy someone in this palace appreciates haute couture." Yes, the hall looks wonderful. It's mostly the work of the committee. I merely advised here and there. A string quartet struck up a stately march as the bride and groom made their entrance. Wiener's shimmering white gown trailed behind her as she and Axel strode through the grand hall, arm in arm, waving to the cheering guests with practised ease. As they took their seats behind our table, a line of guests formed to deliver their congratulations. Yes. "Look at this, Wiener. All these people have come just for you." Estella leaned over and nudged her granddaughter. "Sit up straighter, dear. Don't forget you're the princess of 2 countries now." "Soon to be 1, right, Axel?" Axel kissed Wiener's cheek. "If your dad doesn't screw it up, beautiful." Queen Beatrice was first in line to greet us. "My word, Wiener, you are the spitting image of your mother in that gown." Wiener smiled, her eyes moist. "Thank you for coming, Aunt Bay." "Why, I wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. Duke Reinhardt, it's an honour to meet Grace's newest member in person." Axel kissed her hand and threw her a roguish wink. "The honour is all mine, Your Excellency. I'm very much looking forward to collaborating with you, whether the grand reunion happens or not." Her eyes came to rest on Estella. "What a unique headpiece you're wearing, Madame Estella. Was the aquarium kind enough to loan it, or was it dredged up by a trawler?" "Oh dear. The aquarium, Your Excellency. The proprietor also mentioned that a Rumbergian snag-tooth hagfish had recently escaped his premises. Would you happen to have seen one?" "Your congratulations are well received, Your Excellency, but we must keep the line moving. Quickly now, before all hell breaks loose." "Of course. I am not so rude as to have forgotten a gift. Our royal jewellers are putting the finishing touches on it as we speak." With a final curtsy, she departed to the table she shared with her husband and sons. President Anton Rain stepped before me. He was accompanied by a man I vaguely recognised. "Congratulations, Your Majesty. It's very good to see you again." "Ah, yes. I'd like to introduce you to my daughter Wiener." The Swordfish President kissed my daughter's hand. "I've heard all about you, Your Highness. Your intelligence and self-possession are remarkable. I hope my kids can meet you someday. My wife Monica sends her regrets. I know she's very curious about the progress your kingdom has made on women's rights. But I brought someone else who's been wanting to meet you for a while." "Marcel Caronte, Your Majesty. A pleasure to finally meet you." The Swordish oligarch bowed elegantly and smoothed out his expensive-looking tuxedo. Yes, of course. How is everything at the Valankiris resort? It couldn't be better. Your beaches make our Benfey look like a child sandbox. I happened to be visiting when Anton called me. It's not every day one gets the chance to attend a Rizian royal wedding. You've really pulled out all the stops here. It gives me some ideas for my own impending marriage celebrations. Of course you're invited. Yes. How the Swordish press can cover us. I'd love to come. I've been meaning to speak with you about how the Swordish press can cover us Rizians more favourably. Again, that worldwide reach. Might as well tap into it while you can. He flashed me a toothy grin. I look forward to that discussion. The Swordish president politely nudged his companion. It's time we adjourn to our table, Mr. Cronte. Congratulations once again, Your Majesty. My mother wore a delighted smile as the Swordish delegation left. They're exactly as I imagined them. I took a look at the line. There were still a number of guests waiting to greet us. Nobles from all three houses extended their polite greetings to Vina and Axel. But before I knew it, the congratulations were over. Glancing around the hall, I noticed several empty tables. As the father of the bride and the king of Rizia, I was expected to open the feast with a toast. Wine production had been difficult in the past years, but the Cantuovo family had still managed to bottle a new vintage in Vina's honour. They named it Her Royal Wineness. They need to work on their naming convention. I raised a full glass in front of me. Ladies and gentlemen, rather sparse turnout, Jesus. I thank God for bringing us together to celebrate the union of these two souls. In particular, the presence of our Grace partners in this hall fills my heart with gratitude. Beatrice nodded proudly, her hands folded in her lap. Today marks the dawning of a new age, not only for the royal family, but for Rizia as a whole. The union you witness today is more than a mere love bond, it is an intertwining of destinies. Axel wrapped an arm around Vina. They smiled out at the crowd. Oh, God. We could go really full ham religion. I mean, we're not a religious nut job. we're quite a religious fella, but I trust Princess Vina. You know what? No, we'll go together. The kingdom of Rizia and the Grand Duchy of Parley shall be greater than the sum of their parts. And the fact that the Crown Prince Consort is willing to sacrifice his name to marry Vina speaks volumes about his dedication to the crown. Loud cheers went up from the Taurus tables. We'll go with this one, actually. Out of all of them, it's probably the one that's best fitting. So let us not forget to thank the great and merciful God for the many blessings we enjoy today. You know what? We'll go with a daughter. Ultimately, she is the apple of our eye. So a toast to my wonderful daughter Vina. I will always love and cherish you, no matter your path in life. As long as the path is gently steered by me, whilst I'm still in charge, of course. Everyone in the hall lifted their glasses high. Ooh. We'll go with Glorious Rizia. All of our Rizian guests repeated the words, the hall filled with the sound of clinking glasses. I took a sip of wine. It was delicious. The Cantuovos have outdone themselves. This one might be their masterpiece. Yes. I hope it is a good omen. I looked once more at my daughter. The light from the chandeliers glinted off Lena's ring on her finger. She and Axel were talking to each other animatedly, their full wine glasses all but forgotten. I knew she'd remember today forever. Oh, and there we have it. We have an update to the codex for Vina. She's currently married to Axel Reinhardt, the Duke of Parley. Right, we'll take a look at the papers and then we end the turn. Princess Vina and Axel Reinhardt officially married. It is done. In a grand ceremony, Crown Princess Vina married Axel Reinhardt, the Grand Duke of Parley, both vowing to be loyal to each other until eternity. The ceremony was held as custom dictates at the Zilba Ark Sanctuary, before the guests and newlyweds made their way to Palace Resna, where a grand reception awaited them. There, guests from across Bacopa extended their well wishes to the newlywed couple. Festivities continued until deep in the night, with crowds across the country celebrating the momentous occasion in the streets and in other public places. Look at that. Rufus Greg's royal gossip. Estella's hat overshadows literally everyone. Welcome to the special fashion edition, where we will cover the extravagant and dazzling outfits of the royal wedding guests. There are some true stunners. We start with Queen Mother Estella's hat. While we are used to her rather interesting choices of headwear, we have never seen one of this size. Not only is the hat so big that anyone walking next to her is literally standing in her shadow, the top is adorned with a riot of peacock feathers and, dare we say, fish scales? But what about the other guests? From sordid elegance to Hijana's extravagance. All will be covered on the next few pages, leading up to Princess Vina's dress review at the very end. Look at that. Royal wedding puts Rizia and Parley closer to unification. Yes. So there is still some further work to be done on this unification, but we'll try to see if we can leave Vina to kind of get that done where we can. Yeah. Children coming out of the marriage will be heir to both. This definitely feels like CK2 territory. Yeah. When my ruler currently that I'm playing as dies, my child will take control of 2 countries, or 2 kingdoms, or, 2 Lord Paramouncies. It's the age-old way to do it, isn't it? Right. But relations are more cordial than ever before, which is quite something. Right, anyway, folks, we're just straight over the hour mark, which is the perfect time to end today's session on the end turn phase. So in the next one, we determine if there are any more royal decrees that we want to enact, but I think from memory there might not be. Although, was there perhaps the stimulus checks that I was going to do this time? I think it was. I think I was going to do the stimulus checks just to give the people of Rizia just that little bit of extra smoothing over. Maybe even the people of Zeal will see us doing that and be looking at this and thinking, oh my god, look, the people of Rizia, they've got lovely living conditions, the king's giving them money, the housing is there, the infrastructure for transport, the human rights, everything is on the up and up. People are living happily. Why wouldn't we want to go back to be part of Rizia? So yeah, we'll probably cross people's hands with Rizian gold very shortly. But that'll be at the start of the next session, which could be a stream on Monday, actually, to finish this off. I say finish this off, it feels like we're getting there, but we'll see. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. As I said, you could get some BG3 later this evening. It depends if I'm going out, and it's looking more and more likely that I'm not right now. So, yeah, double day, potentially. But if not, we'll be returning with some more of this tomorrow. In a usual Monday night stream. But there you have it, folks. Enjoy the rest of this lovely weather, which is going to stretch into next week. And until next time, I'll see you soon.